You are reapplying to PT school because you got rejected last year. So what are you going to do different this year? What is your approach? What is your strategy? I hope you have one, because if you do the same thing as you did last year, you're probably going to get the same result. There was a time when I was coaching a student and he was a reapplicant at the time. And I asked him, what did you do differently? And he didn't really have too much to say. He retook a couple courses, but that was pretty much it. So we had to think of other ways to make sure that he can still get into PT school. Now, something that I told him that I'm going to tell you is that no matter what program you get into, you will still graduate with the same degree. And I say that because you probably applied to a top list, maybe 10 programs that you wanted to get into but got rejected to all of them. So now you need to open up your horizons and open up the idea of maybe even going to a place that you don't want to get into. Whatever you go into, the degree that you come out with is going to be the same. So one of the first strategies to make sure that you're going to get into PT school this second time around is to make sure that you're opening up your options to different PT programs. More about this later in this video. Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Dr. Justin Lee, physical therapist, and I help students get accepted into physical therapy school the first time, or in this case, the second or maybe the third time. But regardless, I help students get in, and I'm confident that I can help you too. You might be only considering the PT programs that are in your state or around your area. At this point, you really know you want to be a physical therapist. But, you know, your GPA and everything is all shot. So at this point, you got to open up your horizons. So maybe applying to different programs that meet your requirements, that meet the GPA, the GRE, the observation hours, all of those requirements might be better. Maybe lower the standard a little bit, because like I mentioned, it doesn't matter where you get in, you'll still come out with the same degree. So that's the strategy number one. I have two more for you. Strategy number two is to apply early. I mentioned this before many times, but apply by August every single year. Chances are the program you're applying to is going to be rolling admissions. If the GPA requirement is less, like in the 3.0, 2.8 or so, a lot of people are going to be applying to that. So there's going to be higher competition, meaning you need to apply earlier to beat the competition before all of that comes, because most people apply by October. Okay? So that's number two. And number three, make sure you do something from the time that you applied previously to the time that you're applying now, something different. And that's going to be really important. I talked about this in a previous video for reapplicants, but making sure that you get yourself involved with something, literally anything. It could be a class, improving your GRE, a volunteer position, a job, doesn't matter. But make sure there is something that has happened from last year to now, and something that you can talk about. The number one strategy to help reapplicants is by doing these things. I help students, and many students who are reapplicants, because they came to me and said, Justin, I need help. I tried by myself in the very beginning. I was unsuccessful and failed and got rejected to all my programs. So this is my last shot. If I don't get into PT school this year, then I'm gonna do a whole career change, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Don't let that be you. You work this hard. You work so hard to get all these classes, all that time and money to get to this point. Let's move you on to the next step. Maybe you need a little nudge. Maybe you need a little bit of help. I can help you. Now I have a couple resources to really help you out so that we can support you to get accepted into PT school. Number one, if it's not too late, get involved with my online group coaching program. I'll have the link in the description. Number two, I do one-on-one coaching. This might be a better fit for you since you kind of gone through the whole application process. If you need help with this, I can help you, and we can comb through your whole application to figure out where exactly you need to improve on, where we can capitalize to maximize your application to help you stand out. Now, a question for you, if you're transparent enough, if you're reapplying, where do you think was where you fell? Where do you think is where you failed? Was it the amount of schools that you were applying to, the different kinds of schools you were applying to, the caliber of schools you were applying to? Maybe it was your GPA, your GRE, your letter of rec. I don't know. What is it? I want to know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one, you guys. The two-step approach that I talked about in my previous video is to say, number one, what you did differently, and number two, what you learned from that experience, and number three, how it relates to being a physical therapy student or a future physical therapist. 1, 2, and 3. Those are going to be the most critical things, the number one strategy to help